Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second game in this best-of-3 series in the IGN Pro League. My name is Total Biscuit, bringing you ViBE versus Minigun. And that was a little bit of an upset, honestly. A lot of people, big fans of Minigun, and of course his Zerg versus Protoss style is incredibly powerful. However, it looks like ViBE has the measure of him, and he was able to draw him into something he's perhaps not as comfortable with, which is a mixture of Stalkers and Immortals. And honestly, the Blink micromanagement of Minigun not really up to scratch there, and the Roach Mutalisk and Zergling combination worked extremely well. Very, very good indeed for ViBE. He was able to push him all the way back regardless of losing a base, and the harassment with the Mutalisks earlier was absolutely fantastic. Are you ready for some more violence, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I certainly hope so. Okay, let's kick it off, shall we, right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shattered Temple. This will be the arena for our second matchup between Minigun of Team Root. He's in the light blue trunks. He is playing Protoss and Spawn to the south of this map, versus his opponent ViBE from sixjaxViBE. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Zerg to the west of this particular encounter. Well, we saw ViBE take out Minigun in fine style, looking particularly confident, honestly. Great use of the burrowed roaches early on in the game, forcing his opponent to immediately go into a robotics facility, and the Colossi never really came into play, honestly. You'll notice that he wasn't able to get any out. He was pretty much stuck with Stalkers and Immortals, which is fine, but the mix was actually intriguing. I liked it very much. Mix of Roaches and Mutalisks and Zerglings. That seemed to work very, very well indeed, and the sheer amount of firepower being rained down on the Stalkers just didn't know what to target. Obviously, you want Stalkers to be shooting at Roaches because they do extra damage against armor. You also want Immortals to be shooting at those. However, I got the feeling that Minigun never had enough Immortals really to make a huge amount of difference. And with that many Mutalisks, with that closely packed set of units, he was able to inflict a horrendous amount of damage. And one way or the other, he was going to get shot at by something unpleasant. So it's a nice play there by ViBE and a good build against Minigun. And there are far, far better players that have been beaten by Minigun with a combination mostly of sentries really from Minigun. So I'm happy to see that ViBE seems to have got the measure of him, and he's able to come up with a strategy that works, going very early into that tunneling claws and burrowing Roaches build. Once again, opening up the spawning pool right here and the extractor as they've spawned in these close positions all the way over there. So yeah, there you go. Straight around there. No problems whatsoever for Minigun to block that off for the time being. That was the first port of call for him, and ViBE's going to have to keep an eye on that. No doubt he'll want to expand very rapidly, so that's okay. Shouldn't have too much of a problem with that. Zerglings will follow up almost immediately. I don't know what Minigun's actually going to do here, honestly. The game and the pace of the game is really dictated by ViBE there, which is not the kind of situation you want to be in at all if you happen to be Minigun. Minigun likes to play with his sentry-heavy style. If your opponent suddenly says you can't do that, you've got to start mixing up Immortals and a lot of Stalkers and things like that. Then, honestly, Minigun's not going to be all that happy about it. Okay, Minigun's finally going to back off because it's now about the time when Zerglings will come out. He doesn't want to lose that probe as he did last time. You might think it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but hey, it's a probe. Why would you want to lose it? You don't want to lose units for no apparent reason. That seems ridiculous. Absolutely not. Okay, ViBE's got the cash he needs to expand. Immediately pulls the drone off the line to do so, and he is a happy little bunny. In the meantime, metabolic boost on the way for him as well. Warp gate research coming in, and the economy of Minigun looking pretty damn solid. Double assimilator coming down. That sentry-heavy build will no doubt be employed again in the early game. Will ViBE execute the same thing that he did last time? I don't see why not. Although, honestly, I would think that if I were Minigun right now, I'd be thinking closer along the lines of, hey, I really, really need to get a robotics facility out much faster so that I can get an observer and make sure none of that shenanigans, yes, that mischief, nonsense happens. You wouldn't want that, would you? No. Not what you want. Suddenly sneaking underneath that force. Yes. I wonder, do you notice that in the ground? Do you hear something? Do you feel something beneath your feet? Nah, can't be anything. Little minor earth tremor, perhaps. I think not. Lurker below. ViBE keeping an eye on his opponent right here. No expansions for him as of yet, but that's a lot of SP gas coming in, and an identical build. You see those two gateways going down for 3. He'll warp in 3 sentries, probably try and save his money down to the bottom of that ramp. Pylon coming down for him, and once again, we see the Roaches and immediately into lair at actually the same time there for ViBE. Interesting. Looks like he's refining this build, and once again, we'll probably go for the same kind of thing. But you never know. He showed an awful lot of powerful Mutalist play, but oh, wow. Minigun with another gateway coming down there. We're not looking for an expansion right now, I have to say. It looks like the probe's going to get eaten, even if it does try it. To see what he's going to do here. Will Minigun be able to actually pull off an early 4-gateway aggressive attack? Maybe, maybe. Warp Gate research is now complete. There we go, there are the 4 gateways right here. The question is, where is the pylon? The answer is nowhere. Nowhere whatsoever. ViBE just finished his speed upgrade right here. Warp-ins at the bottom. We're going for an expansion anyway. 4 gateways into an expansion. A lot of people will see 4 gates and say, hey, is he going to get aggressive? Well, you know, it's always a possibility, but didn't really feel like he was going to do that right now. Plus, he actually can't. ViBE's got this map nicely locked down. Minigun does have a probe over here, but it's not close enough. And ViBE being nice and cautious. Speed upgrade coming in right here for his roaches. Not bothering with the tunneling claws as of yet. Not bothering with burrow as of yet, although he could get the gas for it, certainly. He just started really pumping gas on only a single extractor right now, not even bothering to use that one for the time being. Down comes the proxy pylon right here for Minigun, but still, I don't know if he's going to be able to really do anything with that. Minigun's force is not exactly looking in a healthy state right now, admittedly. I'd have to say that ViBE's are looking particularly worse. ViBE pumping out his economy, getting things nice and strong for him. 36 harvesters to 32 right now. His expansion pretty much fully functional. He's already grabbed another extractor, just going on 3 for the time being. And there we go, now filling up that one as well. So I can only expect some gas-heavy stuff coming in from him in the not-too-distant future. No Spire for him as of yet. Roach Warren continuing to roll out, and Roach is now on the field for ViBE. I have to say that currently, you can see that Minigun has actually faked that one out. That was a fake Nexus into a 4-gateway by the looks of it. That is something that he did do against Idra, if I recall correctly. The question is, will ViBE be able to handle that kind of firepower? We'll find out. Here comes the push. Pulls all the drones off the line. And of course, they're getting absolutely blasted into oblivion. And Minigun could come in with a quick win here. Wow, ViBE getting caught apart. That is not good for him at all. However, the question is how much damage is he going to be able to do? By the looks of it, that hatchery will go down. There are roaches on the way. Tunneling claws is not available. He can't tunnel under that. However, look at this. Expansion up to the top right here. This is interesting. Minigun's already taken out the hatchery, which is not the kind of situation you want to be in at all. He actually faked out the Nexus and then went into a 4-gateway attack anyway. Now he's going to pile up the ramp. And how the hell is ViBE going to be able to hold this one? More roaches on the way, bear in mind. Once he gets burrow, this is going to be interesting because there's no observer available. Minigun has no way to spot that. The Roach Warren might be torn apart. ViBE engaging on his own terms only. 50% HP, drilling it down. So it's gonna go. There we go. It detonates. And no more roaches coming out for him. Those 4, and that's it. Robotics facility there as well. He is working on trying to get things rolling. However, it looks like sixjaxViBE should be able to hold this one with 3 spine crawlers coming down. Question is, will Minigun be able to snipe those off? There we go. There's the engagement right here. Queen trying to help out as much as possible. This could be the killing blow, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen because ViBE is doing this very well. There's the burrow right there, regenerating once again. Minigun forced backwards. And in terms of Minigun's economy, it's not particularly strong right now. Once those spine crawlers get in the mix, he's going to be forced to pull back. And right now, Minigun has no idea about this expansion up here. Nice sneaky maneuver there by sixjaxViBE, and a counter-attack. Not the kind of thing you would expect at all. Hey, I've just gone to a 4-gateway. I don't expect my opponent to be going for me. That's the last thing you want. And now he can pick off those pylons. And the question is, did that work out? Because that is a lot of damage done to the economy of sixjaxViBE. Can he come back from that? It's 22 to 38 in terms of harvesters right now. Now that expansion coming down for Minigun. However, he does have this one right here. And he does have a Spire on his way. He's not out yet. Absolutely not. That was a lot of damage, but it's something that ViBE can certainly come back from. We'll find out as to whether or not he can. The 4-gateway was not the killing blow. When you execute that kind of 4-gateway, especially with a fake 4-gateway in the way that he did, he started off with the Nexus, he let his opponent see it, he had this hidden 4th gateway in his base, all the way up there, and then he cancels out of that and then goes into a 4-gateway. It's been seen a few times before. Minigun has executed this quite well in previous tournaments. However, it looks like ViBE was able to hold it at that particular point in time, and still, Minigun does not know about this. He does now. If he's paying any attention. That's the thing. If he sees that bit of creep right here, he'll be aware there's an expansion there. He might be able to apply some kind of pressure. Up to this point, he's had no idea, and I have to wonder if Minigun actually saw that. It is a very, very small area on the ground. He doesn't actually see it on the radar either. He won't see it on his mini-map. So he has to literally look in this area. He's perhaps thinking that his opponent's stuck on one base, and he certainly is not right now. In the meantime, Mutalisks now on the way for ViBE. Immortals on the way. And once again, ViBE could be getting into this nice little mix that he has been able to execute in the past. Not a sentry-heavy mix at all right here. Got mainly Stalkers, few Immortals in the mix, few Zealots, and of course a sentry as well. Looking to expand perhaps all the way over here again, and I would not be surprised to see ViBE expand as well once he's able to get a good Mutalisk force on the field. 4 on the field, looking for another 2. Upgrades on the way as well, Zerg Flyer and Zerg Melee. However, Minigun looking in a much stronger position than he used to be. Certainly, if he goes and attacks now, he could probably do significant damage. I'm still not entirely certain if he's actually seen this. It's so unlikely. It really, really is. Just this tiny patch of creep. He's got to be looking at it directly. Now, in the meantime, Mutalisk harassment is a very real possibility. Minigun's already pulling back right now, and that means at least he's not going to be able to attack, so he's going to give ViBE the opportunity he needs to start to rebuild and grow. Now, the economy of ViBE is looking much better. It's getting in shape. Observer there as well, and there we go. In comes the harassment. The Mutalisks now on the field. However, they'll get nailed down quite rapidly by the Stalkers. They need to drive him away almost immediately. However, he transfers down here, and Minigun is ready for him. Yes, a little bit of harassment, not a huge amount. Losing a lot of Mutalisks for just a few probes is not really a good trade. Well, units lost, it's almost equal right now. ViBE just threw away a bunch of Mutalisks in the process. However, look at the amount of damage he managed to do. He managed to equalize the number of probes, and that's pretty damn critical. It's okay for him to do that right now, particularly if he's able to then expand again. However, it looks like Minigun suspects something. I don't really blame him. Now we can definitely see it on the map. As you can very clearly see there, he knows where his opponent is, or at least he's got a vague idea. The Observer still hasn't checked that out as of yet. He's checking out all these areas. It's actually here, and he still doesn't know about it. That is a secret expansion, folks, and that has really helped ViBE up until this point. And Minigun is not in as great a position as he should be right now. Upgrades on the way. Here comes the Blink for the Stalkers. Once again, will he be able to execute that Blink Stalker build better than he did last time? Still slightly ahead of his opponent, but not by much. An expansion coming down here. And still ViBE looking in a very good position. Good creep spread as well. Excellent creep spread. Pretty much all over the map, over the halfway point. And Mutalisks now looking for yet more harassment. And more importantly, perhaps more importantly than doing damage, is they're bottling Minigun in his base. Not the kind of position you want to be in at all if you happen to be Minigun. Free pylon for them, and no warp-ins at that base, so no harassment, no threats of Dark Templar or anything like that coming in. Those Mutalisks are proving to be invaluable right now, as they were in the previous game. Is there a possibility of denying expansion here? It looks like yeah, looking very likely right now. And Minigun does have the money to expand if he's going to do that. He's actually sitting right in the expansion area. There we go. And this could be taken out here by the Mutalisk. That's a lot of firepower that can come in right here. He does have the upgrade. He actually turns away. Very unfortunate. And of course, why does he do that? Because he's seen what's coming. That is a huge army. 21 Stalkers, 2 Immortals, and of course 5 Zealots on the field. And honestly, ViBE needs to play delaying tactics right now. Try and bring him back against that. In come the Mutalisks into the middle, taking a lot of damage as he goes in right there. I really question that particular maneuver. ViBE just got shredded by that, but he's delaying. That's what he's doing. Bear that one in mind. He can afford to throw away units to just delay his opponent and prevent Minigun from attacking. That's the most important thing right now. Can Minigun consolidate his forces and do heavy damage? Right now, you can see that ViBE has no intention of letting that happen, and that is going to be critical. Minigun once again forced all the way back. And now Zergling's charging in a huge number of 43. There's the surround. He locks him down. Can he bring the Immortal down? More to the point. In comes the firepower from the Roaches, and the Mutalisk tears through one Immortal. Looks for the second one. Good damage done right here. However, that's a lot of Stalkers, and ViBE's going to be forced to leave. There's the Blink in the middle. All those Roaches are doomed. Ladies and gentlemen, doomed. However, ViBE able to take advantage of that to try and do some harassment. He blinks in, however. There's the follow-up there by Minigun. Looks to take a Photon Cannon out, doesn't manage it, and that's inconclusive there for ViBE. Very unfortunate, and quick reaction times there by Minigun. Excellent play by him. So what's the state of the economy right now? It's actually in favor of Minigun by a fairly significant margin for the time being. Here comes that Dark Templar Shrine. The harassment will come in. There is no, and I do mean no, detection right now at these particular areas. This is incredibly vulnerable to Dark Templar attack, and I have to wonder whether or not Vi will be able to spot that. In it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Going to rain it down right here. One photon cannon will be torn about. Looks for the second one. This is a lot of damage coming in on the economy of Minigun right here. However, there's the Blink Stalkers following up. He can't take the Nexus by the looks of it. Takes a good few probes and a few photon cannons, so you can't really complain about that. And in the meantime, look at this Vibe with a counterattack once again. Dart Templar, 4 on the field right now. The question is, were they spotted? I do not believe they were. He's staying nice and still. There's the surround. Not able to do a huge amount of damage, but he's able to take out a bunch of Zealots, so it's not too bad. In the meantime, there we go. Sneaky, sneaky, ladies and gentlemen. Dart Templar moving across the field. That is deadly. They'll be able to completely destroy any of those expansions if they're allowed to do so. Still no detection. And his opponent, Vibe, has not spotted these coming in. That is going to be messy. However, Vibe's still in a reasonably good position. He is not dead yet. I'm very concerned about those Dart Templar. Incredibly concerned. There we go. It looks like he's spread them out. 2 onto each expansion. These 2 mineral lines are going to get gutted. Queen's going to get torn apart very rapidly here. 4th base is on its way now for Vibe. However, he knows it's then into the line. Once again, he goes. Dart Templar going to inflict a huge amount of damage. Needs those Overseers immediately. Needs the Spore Crawlers. Needs that detection down. And, of course, just forgets to do it. That is a critical problem for him right now. Minigun's still ahead in terms of his economy and forcing Vibe to pull everything off. No income coming in at all as a result of those Dart Templar, but there you go. There's the detection. Brings down 1, takes the second, and still, this is a mess right now, and those Overseers need to deal with it immediately. Vibe not in the best position right now, and not at all. Needs to bring down the Dart Templar, as it is a duck shoot as they pass right there. That is not what you want. Not in the slightest. And right now, Minigun looking pretty damn confident. His army size is nice. His supply count is good. His economy is in a great state. His opponent's not able to safely mine. However, that is a large Mutalisk force. I have to wonder how much of a counterattack Vibe could really put on here. A lot of Zerglings. No Roaches on the field, though. I would not say that his army's in the best of positions right now. More Dart Templar on the way as well. Still needs those Spore Crawlers. Vibe got this area completely gutted. Not a lot of drones at all. Archons on the way for Minigun as well. What is Vibe going to be able to do to turn this around, if at all? Is he going to be knocked out of this game? We're going to be looking for a 3rd game in the best of 3 series. Certainly a possibility. However, look at this. He rains it down once again. And Minigun caught out of position once again. And 1 photon cannon down. Looks for the second. Try to take the Nexus out. And Minigun will be able to drive him away once again, however. A lot of good harassment coming in from Vibe. The question is, can he rebuild his economy? It looks like he can. 50 drones right now. Looking good. Gold minerals being mined. Also a very good thing. And that's the kind of thing that Minigun doesn't have. And that might actually give him the opportunity to pull this one back and get his economy in great shape and get more units on the field. 3 more gateways. Upgrades aplenty coming in right now for Minigun. Minigun forced to stay passive again. However, here comes the advancement. 4 Archons in this mix. That's going to be messy, folks. No question about that. Mutalisk caught out of position. However, it gains some valuable scouting information. Will Vibe be able to hold it? It's tense right now, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. Mutalisk trying to hold them off, but they can't go in there. There's too much anti-air firepower. In the meantime, Vibe slips all the way past, so we're looking for a base race kind of scenario right here. Zerglings streaming across the field. 51. Everything that Minigun has right now is going to get gutted. That is not the kind of situation you want to be in if you're Minigun at all. Looking for the supply block. Takes 1, takes 2. That's the supply block right now. And Minigun, can he bring the photon cannons down? He can. And in the meantime, there we go. 1 expansion brought down. The problem is that right now there's plenty of spares. Absolutely plenty of spares right now. It is a base race right now. It's a base race that, by the looks of it, Vibe is going to win. Rains it down. There we go. Dart Templar Shrine brought down very rapidly. A Nexus brought down. And Zerglings swarming all over the base. That is messy, folks. Mass numbers of photon cannons coming in right here, but it's not going to be quick enough. Vibe is ready for that kind of nonsense. In the meantime, here comes the push. Stalkers pushing their way through. Who will be able to win this base race scenario? That's the question. Will those Spine Crawlers be able to hold the line? No, they will not. The Archons will be able to take them out very quickly. The Immortals will hold the line. I'll be very concerned, however, Minigun is losing base after base after base after base, and there comes the swarm, cutting his way through the main base of Minigun. Minigun with no tech. Minigun unable to bring in anything right now, and falling back over. The Mutalisk knows where it is. It does. The Spire going down as well. This really is a base race for the ages. As Minigun continues to push his way in there, the lair will go down. This Nexus will be annihilated. Everything Minigun has and everything that his opponent has is going down right now as well. This is ridiculous. This is going to be an army meeting kind of situation. They've got to actually engage, because right now there is just nothing left of either base. However, there are 30 Mutalisks upgraded and 41 Zerglings. The final encounter. Vibe has nothing left other than his army. It's going to come down to this last engagement. Incredibly tense. Nexus taking a lot of firepower. Looks like that's going to bleed out by the looks of it. There we go. Down it goes. There's another Nexus going on over there. However, where comes this engagement? That's a great blink there by Minigun. Able to catch up plenty of them. 23 down to 20 mutalisks right now. That isn't good at all. But here's the problem. Minigun has no buildings left. Once the buildings go down, GG. Ladies and gentlemen, nicely played there in that ridiculous base race by ViBE. ViBE had buildings left, his opponent did not. Army size didn't matter, and the superior mobility of the Zerg was able to win the day right there. Absolutely crazy matchup, well played by both sides, and ViBE advancing in the winners bracket as Minigun knocked down to the losers. Oh yes, that's the kind of base race you want to see if you want to see things get very, very tense. And the funny thing about that was that ViBE did not have the army to properly engage against Minigun, but he had the mobility. He was able to pick off everything that Minigun had, and that ended the game immediately as that last building went down. Fantastic play by both. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the IGN Pro League. My name's been Total Biscuit. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.